welcome back to the Piston Show. I'm Keshi Dillon, and as usual, I'll be the host for this video. So today I'm driving the Honda CRV 1.5 VTEC Turbo. This is the top of the line version of the non-hybrid variants. So this is a petrol driven car, obviously, and it's priced at slightly over 180,000 ringgit. That means there's about, give and take, 20,000 ringgit separating this and the hybrid version. So I recently published my video about the CRV hybrid, and I think I got some really positive comments from everybody. Thank you so much. And what everybody loved was we actually went out and put the fuel efficiency test to the challenge, basically. And so picked the car up, ran around KL, drove to Ipoh, met the family, and then drove back to KL on a single tank of fuel. And we got pretty damn close to Honda's claimed fuel efficiency figure of 20.8 kilometers per liter. Brilliant. It's a really nice car. I love the CRV hybrid. It's simply said very nearly perfect. In fact, I would say it's 99% perfect. Why that 1%? Well, as I said in that video, that 1% would be the blind spot monitoring system. If the CRV had a blind spot monitoring system, it would be perfect, unbeatable. It would be the SUV to have. This video is brought to you by Berjaya Sompo Insurance. Get Sompo MotoSafe by Berjaya Sompo. The less you drive, the less you pay. It's that simple. Choose from 3 different mileage plans with affordable premiums to fit your driving needs. Perfect for those who drive occasionally. Plus, enjoy extra perks like unlimited towing, 100% special perils, and all driver coverages. Ready to drive smart and save big? Switch to Sompo MotoSafe today. Head over to Berjaya Sompo Insurance and start saving now. The thing about the current generation CRV is that it is the best CRV ever made, hands down. It's big, it's spacious, it's comfortable, it's roomy even for the back seats, and I mean, look at all this glass. There's a lot of light that is coming in, so it feels very roomy in here, and it's just really very nearly perfect. Even the quality of things in here is spot on. And in hybrid form, you even get a 12-speaker Bose sound system in incredible fuel efficiency, as well as a very refined interior. But now, in this V-Spec variant or V variant, it sort of just takes things down a couple of notches. The interior is still spacious. Of course, the body is the same. The interior is still spacious, comfortable, and everything that you would like about the new CRV model, you get that in here. Of course, this being second in line, Honda Malaysia has removed a couple of things, such as you don't get a 12-speaker Bose sound system, which is brilliant, by the way, and you don't get heads-up display. You don't get a couple of niceties, a couple of features inside here, but you do get a couple of good things such as Honda Sensing, adaptive cruise control, which is fantastic, by the way. And in terms of refinement, it's just not as good as the hybrid version. See, the hybrid has double glazed windows. This does not. And then it also has resonator wheels. This version does not have resonator wheels. If you're wondering what resonator wheels are, that is something basically like a foam-like material that is placed inside the wheels, and it sort of absorbs vibrations and sounds and such before it can be transferred back into the cabin. That's fine, except that this does not have it. So what you get is, you get a lot of wind noise in here, you get a lot of road noise in here, and I've been driving this car since yesterday. I drove it from KL to Ipoh, and now I'm on the way to Penang. And there's just this buzzing sound of wind noise that is irritating me, and it's coming from up there on the left, and I can hear it. It's just one of those things. And so it just does not feel as proper and as refined as the hybrid version. The hybrid, as I said earlier, is very nearly perfect. This though, yeah, it's just takes that hybrid recipe and turned it down a couple of notches. And then the other thing about this version is that you feel a lot of vibrations in here. You know, it's the 1.5 litre engine is mated to a CVT transmission, and when I put my foot down, I can hear it, and at the same time I can feel it on the floor as well. I can feel that vibrations coming up from my foot. So that is something that you do not feel in the hybrid version, simply because the hybrid does not have a gearbox in the traditional sense. Honda calls it ECVT. So what that does is, it has an engine, it has electric motors, and the engine acts as a generator. Power is sent directly to the motors. It does not go through a gearbox. So when you have a gearbox, you have more moving material, more moving parts, and because this version is an all-wheel drive car, so you have a drive shaft as well. So that just means there's one more thing down there, that moves, that creates vibrations, that just one more thing to just sort of intrude into the cabin. And you feel it. You really do feel it. And that is something that I miss about the hybrid, because the refinement level in the hybrid, wow, it can put some Continental cars to shame. That's just something else. But what about this car? Like I said earlier, it has everything that you want in a SUV. It has amazing safety systems. It has adaptive cruise control. It even has pedal shifters, which is great. And if you put your foot down, it feels sort of urgent-ish. It feels like it has some capabilities. But what about if I drop? But this is a CVT transmission, so you can sort of expect it to respond really quickly as well. Now, power is rated at about 193 horsepower, 253 Newton meters of torque. It does the 0 to 100 in about 10 point something seconds, and it just has all of that. It does it really well. Okay, if I've never driven the hybrid, I would say that this is really good. It's just that I've driven the hybrid, and that is just fantastic. Now, on the topic of fuel efficiency, KL to Ipoh, and now on to Penang, and I'm about to touch half tank already. I wasn't trying to be efficient. I was just driving as I normally do. I might have a little bit of a heavy right foot, just little bit. And then fuel efficiency is claimed to be, I can't remember how much Honda claims it to be, but what I'm getting right now is about 9.9 kilometers per liter. Last night when I was driving it, perhaps it was cooler. It was about 25 degrees yesterday. Last night it's about 35 degrees today. So this does have an impact on performance and fuel efficiency and such. Last night I was doing 10.9 kilometers per liter. Now I'm doing 9.9 kilometers per liter at roughly about the same speed. So in the hybrid, for example, I think I did about 19.5 kilometers per liter, which just means that the hybrid is so much more efficient, hugely efficient, that thing. You get the point. However, there are a couple of great things about this car. It's not all doom and gloom, right? I'm sorry that if I came across that way. Royal Enfield, Triumph Tiger. I think I'm going to the same event as those guys are. The Hoo La La Motorcycle Gathering. in Penang. Anyway, there are a couple of things that are really nice in here, such as the fact that Honda has perfected the seats. Now, in the previous generation CRV, the seats were sort of on the smaller side, and they were quite hard as well, with as far as the padding goes and such. But this is just spot on. Whoa, emergency stop. Why are people stopping? Excuse me, yeah? So, the seats are brilliant. They're more supportive, they're slightly wider, and they're just a lot more comfortable. Spaciousness is a given. I really like the fact that it comes with wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and even though it may not have Bose sound system, it does have an 8-speaker sound system, and it still is pretty good. Not Bose levels of good, but quite decent. Anyway, besides that, the interior just feels like a really nice place to be. I had my son in here last night. He slept all the way like the baby that he is, and I appreciate that about the CRV. It's comfortable, it's safe, it's refined, it's just brilliant. However, I think that if you're in the market for a CRV, the hybrid is the model to go for, simply because it just offers a more nicer driving experience. It's just nicer to be in the car. Your family will love it too, because it's a lot more refined. It sort of disconnects you from the world outside, and that is something that not many cars do really well. The CRV hybrid does it brilliantly. It's just so perfect. Hey guys, what are some of the things that you consider when choosing a petrol brand? For me, I make sure that the petrol can keep my engine clean and also give me better mileage. I'm sure everybody thinks about this when choosing a particular brand. With BH Petrol's Infinity RON 95 Euro 4M, you get precisely that. It has special German additives that reduces the amount of deposits that build up in your engine over the long term, keeping it clean. It also has improved friction modifiers that reduces the amount of friction that your engine has to go through, ultimately giving you better mileage and making BH Petrol's Infinity RON 95 Euro 4M the right choice. But after having said all of that, it's not entirely all doom and gloom for the 1.5 litre V-Spec variant. It does a couple of things really nicely as well, and there's one thing that I like about this model. I like the fact that it is an all-wheel drive. It has an all-wheel drive powertrain. Why does that matter? Isn't that more fuel, like increases fuel consumption and such? Well, it matters to me because of one very simple thing. I take an all-wheel drive powertrain as a safety feature. You see, the CRV is a family car, and if you're going to be having your family in here, you want to be able to keep them as safe as possible in any situation. And because we live in Malaysia, or if you're watching this video from a place where it rains a lot, now when it rains a lot, you may sometimes end up in a slippery situation. So that is where an all-wheel drive format actually is much better than a fully front-wheel drive or an rear-wheel drive car, simply because it offers more grip. So this is something that I thought up when my wife was looking for a car, when right after the pandemic, we needed a car, but there were not a lot of cars available in the market at that time. So I reached out to Honda Malaysia, but they too didn't seem to have cars that could be delivered immediately. Then I reached out to Mazda, and they're like, look, we have one car that you can have inside the week, but the thing is, you cannot choose the variant, and you cannot choose the model. Sorry, you cannot choose the model, and you cannot choose the color. So the car was a 2.5 litre turbocharged CX-5 in Soul Red. Beautiful, beautiful car, no doubt. It has plenty of power and such, but that all-wheel drive powertrain is hugely thirsty. But then again, we've driven that car through some really treacherous downpours, monsoon downpours and such. And yes, there have been some moments that were truly slippery. You know, sometimes on our Malaysian highways, we have pockets of water that tend to unsettle the balance and grip of a car and such. But because it was an all-wheel drive, it was fine. This model is also an all-wheel drive model, but I don't find it as thirsty as the CX-5 2.5 Turbo. It's still pretty decent. So, and I have something called an all-wheel drive torque distribution monitor over here, and it tells me that most of the time it's sending power to the front wheels, and only when you start putting your foot down further does the back wheels come into play, which means that most of the time it's front wheel drive, unless I put my foot down right now, and now the rear wheels have been some power has been sent to the back, and then even so most of the power is sent to the front. So that's great. I like that. I like that it offers a bit more grip. I like that in any situation I don't have to worry about losing grip. As I said, I consider an all-wheel drive powertrain as a safety feature. So the other thing about this is something that you need to take note of from an owner of a car that has an all-wheel drive powertrain, is that because of all-wheel drive, your tire wear sometimes tends to be higher. So because all four wheels are turning, so the good thing about that is that you'll have even wear and tear on the tires lah. You don't have to rotate your tires. You can if you want to, but since all four wheels are sending power to the road, wear and tear is going to be even unless there's some issue with your car. So that is something that you need to look out for, that wear and tear on your tires might be a little bit higher. However, if you really have to choose between spending your money on the V-Spec model or the RS Hybrid, I think the RS Hybrid offers a better experience inside, from the cabin at least. It's comfortable, it's a nicer place to be in, and obviously much more refined. But if you don't want to spend that 20,000 ringgit, then know this, that the all-wheel drive powertrain might be a little bit thirsty, but it's going to keep you safe in almost any situation. And if you do a lot of balik kampung drives like I do, you know, Ipoh KL or KL Kelantan, KL Terengganu, whatever, then sometimes it's better to keep your family safe with as many systems and features as possible. And that is something that you get with the 1.5 litre V-Spec variant. So guys, finished whatever I needed to do in Penang, and now I'm heading back to KL. So I attended the Hulala Bike Fiesta in Juru Auto City. It happens every year, and if you're into motorcycles, then this is an event that I believe that you should attend, because it just has some killer discounts, man, some killer bargains on motorcycles, accessories, apparels, everything. And it's just, oh, check it out, I bought this cap for like 60 bucks, man, an original Alpine Star cap, and this t-shirt as well. Anyway, on the topic of the CRV, so I think we can conclude this video now, but I would just like to point out that if you're wondering how you can distinguish the non-hybrid version from the hybrids, well, first of all, the clearest way that you can do that is to go and take a look at the emblem at the front. And if it has a very, you know, blue sort of tinge around the outer part of the emblem, that means that that's a hybrid. If you don't see anything blue on the logo, that's just a regular petrol version, the turbos. So all in all, it's been brilliant. It's been fantastic, and I had some friends in the car as well. They were blown away. They never expected the CRV to be like this, because as I was saying earlier in this video, it has grown, it has developed into something that the CRV always should have been from the start. But this is the great thing about evolution. It always gets better. And as I've said, this generation of the CRV is the best ever. I love the amount of space that you have in the back seats, and the seats are reclinable as well. Boot space, fantastic. In fact, if you have a family of 4 and you just want one car that can serve you for the next couple of years, and you don't want to worry about warranties, you don't want to worry about servicing, then the Honda CRV is exactly that car. If you're wondering, dude, what are you talking about? There's so many cars from China and such. Yes, I agree. The Chinese cars offer amazing value. Fantastic. Unarguable. No argument there. And but the only thing about the Chinese brands over here is that, you know, they're still new in this market. Some of them have been around for a couple of years already. I'll give them that. But what I'm trying to say is that give them a bit more time to create a stronger foothold here in Malaysia, and once they have that going, then you can see a better after sales experience, better ownership experience. They would have ironed out the wrinkles and such. But brands like Honda have done this decades ago. So in terms of after sales service as well as an ownership experience, I think Honda probably would do it better for now. I know the competition is heating up, that the writing is on the wall, but I'm sure brands like Honda and all have a strategy, counter strategy. Anyway guys, the new CRV, it checks all the boxes. But with regards to the V spec, the V variant that I'm driving right now, I just think that the hybrid is a better car. Just that. Everything else, spot on. Thank you for watching guys. As usual, do consider subscribing. Take care.